Ba-da-bum-bum. Ba-da-bum-bum-bum-bum. Ba-da-da. Beer chord.
So, and what this is, it's falling waters.
That's what a waterfall is.
Well, but it doesn't have to be that.
Well, I suppose.
And so,
Was it Peeing Waters?
This is a little different. It's a cider, but it's been hopped. So it's a hopped cider.
So now I kind of like the whole idea of having a sister winery to a brewery. That actually kind of makes good sense. Because, like, you can brew beers in old wine barrels and so on. So it might be a good way, where you can make a beer based on some wine that they produced in the past, on the barrel, that they used in the past.
Sure, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Or in this case, just make mead.
Or in this case, make a cider that's hopped.
Yeah, like a cider that's hopped. Let's give it a shot.
All right, I'm doing it.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I'm disappointed.
No.
No, not from the standpoint. It's a perfectly good cider.
Mm-hmm.
I don't taste any hops. I don't taste any hops.
I have tried this before.
Yeah.
So I was kind of going to reserve judgment, but this might be one of those batch issues.
Yeah.
Where, because the one I had, you could taste the hops.
So you can't taste the hops in this one either?
I can't taste the hops in here. I'm getting a lot of tart. And
There's a
sort of standard ciders.
Right. No, it's a perfectly acceptable cider.
Yeah.
I can't even smell the hops.
Yeah, and the last one we could.
Yeah, this is a batch issue. There's always a problem with small batch places.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's because I've completely ruined my palate. But, it doesn't taste like much to me. Maybe a little pear at the end, but I'm not really getting a lot of the tart. I'm not getting any hops.
That was pretty good.
That's a shame.
I get which is a shame, because there's a good tart finish. Rob, do you taste the tart finish? No, not really?
No.
Oh, that's interesting.
I get
the
like
tart I get the tart finish.
I'm getting like a sweet peachy finish.
Yeah, I definitely get the tart.
Did you say sweet PG? Did you say PG?
Peachy.
A sweet PG finish.
I thought you were PG-13.
Well, a PG finish would also be appropriate for this, I think. It's, I don't know. Seems like this is the kind of cider you might give your kids at the end of a long day.
You're kidding.
We'll see if it
Drink this down.
We'll see if it makes me drunk.
I wonder if they poured the wrong one. They had another one that was like a strawberry, right? And I did not want that.
I'm not detecting any strawberry though. It tastes like a peach to me.
Tastes
weird.
It's kind of
Yeah.
It's there. It's flat. You know what I mean? It's kind of
Maybe that's what's it. Maybe because it's not as bubbly as I was expecting.
Again, to me, I find they're perfectly acceptable cider.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm starting to get a hint of the tart now, but I don't know. Maybe I've just completely destroyed my palate with sour beers, because that's basically all I'm drinking these days. Still.
Oh, yeah. So after a mouthful of Warheads, you're like,
that might be. This may not be quite as tart as that.
And that's the type of sour beer I always look for. It's the punch you in the mouth kind of sour beer.
All right,
that is it. Maybe that's.
Let's pass verdict on this thing. Okay, I say this because I don't taste the hops, and I was expecting hops.
I was expecting hops.
Yeah,
the flavor itself isn't bad, but it's false advertising, frankly.
And that was it. I really a bitter finish after that tartness. A bitter finish would have been fucking awesome. And the fact it's not there, just
I think it was a batch issue.
I agree. It was probably a batch issue. I won't say I would never try it again.
I would if I got a good batch.
Yeah, just not this one.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's
a quick mention, by the way. If I got like 7 of these growlers that lying around now.
For that?
And just growlers lying around. And before I went on vacation, I'm like, all right, should I grab a empty one and just throw it in the car? And then, of course, I found something kind of interesting, and so, I had to buy another growler. So hey, grab that growler and throw it in the car.
You know what I mean? I have to agree with you because I've got like 6 growlers at home myself. So I probably should keep one in the trunk of my car, just wrap it up in a box or something so I always have an empty growler with me.
Because I'm sure, if they'll rinse it out for you.
Oh yeah, most def. I mean, most places will clean it for you. All right, so Rob, what's the real topic tonight now that we're talking about growlers?
Well,
did you actually?
I didn't pass judgment on this. And,
Oh, I'm sorry. My apologies.
so you should feel terrible.
I do feel bad.
Mr.
I do. I'm always in a rush.
Mr. Tom.
You know me. I'm in a rush.
I'm in a rush too. I guilt contempt of court. You're leaving it like
How about perjury too?
Yeah, some perjury.
I think perjury.
Honestly, this just feels like apple juice.
That's what I'm saying.
Is that
This
it?
doesn't taste like grown-up apple juice. It tastes like apple juice you give to the kids.
Have we maybe just
Are we at that
killed
point?
ourselves? Yeah.
Oh, by the
we
way,
just need that much alcohol to even taste it?
that could be the case. Hi, Vintage Gamer, who's now watching us live on YouTube.
Ooh, hey.
Hello, friend.
Hello, friend.
Oh, it took us 45 minutes to get that working?
I only told them 20. You shouldn't have told them how long it really took, okay? I lied and told them it only took you 20.
Bleep! You can put that over later.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so Rob, what is the real topic tonight?
Real topic is those rip-off games and systems. In other words, systems that aren't what they seem, or try to ride the coattails of another system. There's a lot of them out there. I mean, we talked about this, and I wanted to bring in controllers, but we didn't actually. I don't think we had any fake controllers.
I do have some fake controllers, but I had too many. I had other things.
Well, how far back are you considering fake?
Fake goes back a long way.
Well, I mean, because so you had Gemini sticks, that
For the 2600.
or the 2600.
But those
the
are
yellow
really
and black
fake. They were trying to fake it because they had a yellow button. I mean, you could.
Yeah, you can tell they weren't the same. So,
Right.
So that's the difference. So it's not like you're, it's just another controller, or whatever. But
Right.
Like ones that are in the dollar bin at 7 Mile Fair.
From a
that are spelt wrong.
Yeah,
they
from
all
Atari.
have Z's.
Yeah.
Abari.
Yeah.
The Abari 2600.
Yeah, there are. One of the ones that got me was, there's fake Razer mice out there.
Yeah.
Literally being sold as Razer mice, and there's fake 360 controllers all over the place that are also marked as 360 controllers. That kind of got me on it, because it's like, man, this is not...
You mean, not even, with a fake, somehow kind of faking it a little bit?
No, just trying to pass its ass off. Like, you can... it doesn't have a real Microsoft... it's misspelled. It's like Microsoft.
Yeah, you get a lot of that.
I've had a lot of those.
But
not controllers, but
controllers,
stuff.
yeah, there were... Gemini, again, was clearly
got that high.
an obviously different controller. But there were controllers that did try to pass themselves off as early clones as well. I mean, you did see some of that as well. I mean, again, this is nothing new as far as cloning systems go. So let me kick it off, because I have got some really early clone stuff with me. So again, system cloning or creating these throwaway or knockoffs is nothing new. So back in 1976, this was still in the early days of video gaming, but this is when ColecoVision and Magnavox are releasing quite a few home video systems. Atari hadn't gotten into the game yet. This one is one of the earliest knockoff games. This is a Wonder Wizard. You'll have the name of that. It's a Wonder Wizard. It's made by a company called General Home Products. But here's the interesting thing about this knockoff. Magnavox, who made the system that this is knocked off from, it's a knockoff of an Odyssey 300, produced all the internals. Not only did they produce all the internals, they gave this company, General Home Products, the molds for the original Odyssey, the Odyssey 1, the first home video game system, and then they just kind of reworked them a little bit. This bottom is the identical bottom to the original Odyssey video game from 1972. They didn't do any changes to it. Still got the 6 D-cell battery holder in it and everything. So it's exactly the
I
same.
assume that system does not actually use D-cell batteries?
No, it does.
Oh, it does.
It does. They actually put 6 D-cell batteries in it for that 9-volt power supply. This is a system that this is knocked off from. It's a knockoff of an Odyssey 300, produced all the internals. And then they just kind of reworked them a little bit. This bottom is the identical bottom to the original Odyssey video game from 1972. They didn't do any changes to it. Still got the 6 D-cell batteries in it. For that 9-volt power supply. It has the weird
Pretty
connector
nice.
that Magnavox was using back in the day, pre-RCA type clips. It was they had this little weird barrel setup that fit into their systems. So the board inside here is a Magnavox 300 board. The only thing is that Wonder Wizard put this beautiful wood grain on it, better controllers on it actually. They put much nicer joint potentiometers on it and larger knobs on it. But the basic everything else is the exact same. It's the exact same games, 3 games built in. It is the exact same settings on the switches. Like I said, you can see, if you look at it from the back, you can see where it's just the original Odyssey case modified a little bit to make it a little bit different. The 9-volt plug right there is exactly where it is on the Odyssey. So this is one of the early knockoffs. And now when I say a knockoff, what happened is by 76, the basic home video game market was getting a little hot. ColecoVision was dumping a crap load of these Pong systems out on the market. They had ColecoVision just branded. They didn't rebrand. They just produced like 1 billion different styles of the same game. We've had this discussion before. They all played the same damn games. They just kept changing the cabinet a little bit. Well, Magnavox, who was the other competitor at the time, didn't want to get left out, so they released their electronics this way to another company, so that they basically produced their own competition that way. This is actually one of my better pieces in my collection, because this one's a kind of not a total rarity, but it's fairly rare. So again, kind of a cool.
I gotta ask, is it just a little off topic? Is it working?
Yeah, that is a functional one.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, you know me. I do like to make them work when I have a chance. Again, we've seen lots of knockoffs nowadays, and we'll get into some of the more modern knockoffs, but knockoffs are nothing new. So this one came out in about 1979. Sears was a powerhouse of a department store in 1970s and 79 especially. So everybody knows that Sears produced their own Atari 2600. It was the Telegames. And it really nothing. It was strictly an Atari 2600 that they just put the word Telegames on the front where the Atari 2600 logo used to be. But they went a step further when they cloned the Intellivision of the time. They actually produced what was called the Super Video Arcade. And the Super Video Arcade is an Intellivision. The electronics, again, same motherboard in here, same switch setup, but they just changed the case a little bit. Instead of being that brown case that came in with the 2 horizontally mounted controls, they put the controls in vertically instead. And then instead of having those teeny tiny little switches, they put bigger knobs on top of the existing switches so that you had a little easier control system. Changed the case design quite a bit, though. I mean, compared to, if you looked at this, you would never realize that was an original Intellivision inside of here. It's designed to look quite a bit different, and they did a good job.
Well, you don't have this one, but now, because that's the Sears one, right?
This is the Sears one.
Because the 2600 Sears had its own 2600.
I have one of those too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know something? The thing, they made no changes to that. It looks just
they
like.
They had the arcade too. That one was stolen from the Japanese version.
Correct. That's when they differentiated. But my first Atari 2600 was the Sears Telegames one. I had a Sears charge card at the time, and I could go out and charge the damn thing. It was a $300 video game system back then. So think of what the price tag would be nowadays.
It's like $1,500
So,
in future money.
So I did run out and buy
Here's your
one of
boy.
those on my Sears credit card at the time. I think I got the charge card just so I could get the damn thing.
Only
So
had 25% interest.
yeah, my original Atari 2600 was the Sears Telegame.
Yeah.
And I do have some of those floating around in my collection as well. But the thing is, it is just the same thing. They literally just changed the where it printed, Atari 2600 to where it said Telegames. That was the only difference. This one, they actually made an effort to make it look different and redesign it. And they did a pretty good job, actually. Gameplay's exactly the same. Same motherboard, same whole thing. So cloning like this goes back quite a ways. Now, I don't know if there's anything pre-76. I can't find anything pre-76, 1976. I can't find anything that was a knockoff before that. So I'm going to say this one's probably one of the first examples of a knockoff video game. When I say knockoff, it basically, again, they're just getting the electronics from their competition and making their own case for it. Again, slightly better controllers.
Now, this situation, it seems like, and is sort of like, oh, okay, I kind of understand the way business works.
I misspelled aggregator.
See,
You did.
Mm-hmm.
But now as we move down, though, I think you start to get more insidious, where it's,
Right. And that's it. These are, whereas, this is a knockoff. Magnavox was making money on it. They were selling the electronics. This is a knockoff. Intellivision was doing just fine, saying, "Hey, we'll repackage it any way you want. You're paying us to do it."
Well, and a lot of times it was, you could the games that were being sold once they got to the, you could work in both.
Exactly. So nobody was losing. The companies weren't losing money; they were doing fine on this. Now, cloning, as far as other clones and knockoffs come into play, some of the earliest computer clones I saw were the old Apple IIs.
Yeah, lasers.
Yeah, Laser, Franklin.
Oh yeah, the Franklin. I forgot about Franklin.
ITT, Bell and Howell. Everybody and their mother. There was a Chinese board. I think it was, what was it called? Oh, crumb, 8,000, something like that. There was a Chinese board you could get. So a lot of companies cloned the original Apples.
Well, now that's starting to get into the, all right, we reverse engineer this. And
I didn't see that till about 82, 83.
Yeah. So
that came quite a bit later. So like I said, I think this is probably one of the earliest examples of just a straight knockoff. Yes, it's not. It's a knockoff from the standpoint is it's a completely different company and a completely different, well, not completely, it's a different style case.
Yeah.
But it has no they tried to completely have no association with it. Where this one was, obviously, it was an Intellivision. They were selling it as an Intellivision just with the Sears logo on it.
And everybody went to Sears back then for the video games.
They did.
Kind of weird.
No, that was it.
I remember sitting at Sears with my parents, and they'd just leave me behind with the Atari. And and strange men would walk up to me and ask me to touch them.
Sears was one of
that sounds about right.
Before that, if you think about it, there were other game systems at this time. You figure there's Fairchild Channel F. There's the Valley Arcade. None of those systems had knockoffs. None of those systems were cloned.
Only 3 of them sold.
Well, that could be the reason. No, they were expensive.
That was always an argument in the proprietary concept idea. Like Apple was like they made all their own stuff, and that way nobody can knock them.
Not in the early days.
Well, but that was the idea.
Not until the Mac.
But then it's like the IBM became sort of just more like an
open architecture.
Open architecture, so you could just keep making them and stuff. And it's like, which was better for the longevity of whatever you were doing.
But in the early days, IBM didn't want to necessarily be open architecture. It just so happens they used off-the-shelf components. Apple was the same way, and that's why there were like the Bell and Howell, the Franklin, the what was the other one you mentioned? Laser. There was a ton of those because Apple had used all off the 6502 processor, standard memory chips, Woz, what was it? The Infernal Woz machine, the drive handler for it.
Oh yeah.
He may have done some weird coding, but the hardware was all off the shelf hardware. They didn't because they weren't hardware engineers.
Yeah, they didn't have the money to pay someone to design shit for them.
Thank you. So they were right. These guys knew software. They knew enough about the hardware to get it working, but they really weren't.
And in fairness, like Apple, like even when they were making like the more proprietary systems later on, they were never truly a hardware manufacturer. A lot of people like to say, well, Apple's a hardware manufacturer. No, they're not. They pay other manufacturers to make their hardware and just write really good software for it. They've never been a hardware manufacturer until very recently with their slew of
phones.
Of phones.
Yeah.
Because those processors are all designed in-house. but they're still all
Well, I mean,
based on
Macs were
pairing
outsourced,
architecture.
but I mean, at that argument, nobody makes their own crap anymore. I mean, really.
Well, and that's true.
They
too.
really
Well,
don't.
that's-
I mean,
that's
because they design their own
absolutely
hardware,
Right.
obviously.
Right,
so-
that's absolutely true, but I mean, they're still,
Yeah, I mean, they did.
I don't
I mean, they
disagree.
used to sell them in kits. I mean, they used to make them in. They literally did make them in the garage for a while.
Yeah.
Not,
You could buy an
not
Apple
for very
kit,
long,
the original
but-
Apple one. Yeah.
yeah, not for very long, but
All right, so those are my two big ones. I mean, I have a ton of these things. Again, we've had other ones on the show before. I like knockoffs, I really do. Just from the standpoint of the weirdness and the wackiness feature to knockoffs. Some of them can be absolutely bizarre, and we'll get into that in just a bit. How bizarre they can be.
oh yeah, we got
we got
Ryan brought in
Ryan
the
dropped off
special
something
edition.
special.
Yeah, the special additional one that we have.
Yes. All right, who's going next?
I'll go next.
All right,
really
Matt's
quick.
up.
More on the riding off coattails of another system theme. I nominate the Wii U.
Ooh.
Because it rode off the coattails of two systems. Not one, two. By name, it was riding off the fame of the original Wii.
Right,
Of
and
course.
it played a lot of the same stuff.
Right, and it was, but it didn't have the fun, innovative controller setup that the Wii had, so it didn't have that going for it. The other thing it was trying to rip off was the DS. Your TV is your big screen.
No,
Your little screen is your second screen.
it's your controller.
Except when you're playing games just with the controller. But that's what it was ripping off. It was trying to rip off two systems in one go, and it did a very poor job of it.
I never thought about that, but now that you mention it, yeah, the dual screen play where you have, like you said, your big screen, your top screen on your TV, and your lower screen here.
But the lower screen was superfluous when you were playing on the controller, and every game had to be designed so you could play it just on the controller, and so someone else could use the TV to watch Netflix or some shit.
Yeah.
So it was superfluous, and also nobody wanted one.
Yeah, well.
So it didn't exactly pan out. They tried to ride the coattails of the success of those two systems, and it didn't work out so good for them. Luckily now we have the Switch, which, is not bad. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing stuff from that.
Yeah, so Nora, you've met her before. Mel's kid
Yeah,
won one last week from some Frito contest.
I'm
Get out.
Dead serious. Really? Holy shit!
I want a free Switch.
Yeah,
That's how I get all my
Thank
modern
you!
systems for free.
Holy crap, she won a fucking Switch!
Who knows? Maybe I'll get a PS4 from
I
one
know.
this year.
Alright, so who wants to go next?
Well, I was just thinking about this, and this kind of, I didn't bring mine in, but I got sucked into the 601 game controller, where the games were, they look like a PlayStation 1 controller, and but they got all NES knockoffs, and some of that stuff was kind of fun because they actually in that particular version they actually use different sprites and stuff. So one of the fun games on it, it's Duck Hunt, right? Except you're shooting an alien that comes.
So wait a minute. So not only do they, it's a Famicom ripoff.
Yeah.
But they actually went through the work of changing the game.
Yeah, change the game.
Well, that's actually I want to give them a little bit of credit on that. They went through the work of actually making the game a little bit different instead of just we'll just throw the ROMs right out there. You're good to go.
But it is funny though. The dog still comes.
We're having too much fun in the chat.
Okay, so here's the thing.
Gamer just said that the second screen was convenient for watching porn. I'm sorry, that's freaking hilarious.
Oh my God, that is good.
Away from your parents.
Yes.
That is a great idea. You can pretend like you're playing up on the big screen while you're watching porn on your controller. No, I'm loving that idea actually.
Yeah, I mean Nintendo fucked up. That's how they should have marketed the system.
I'm totally using the movement control. Oh no. Sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Larry.
Yeah. But no, that was a good one. That was a good
I
one.
lost
Interrupted.
But now on the more like some of the more frustrating things, whereas some of the knockoff 360 controllers were very frustrating because they looked so close to the originals. It was hard to figure out, and they never worked as well. So you know,
Because the
you'd be
pin offs
thinking,
weren't right.
yeah, right. And you would think okay, I'm getting it for $15. I'm getting a 360 controller, and you know, when it'd be like just crap, I'd be like, then you kind of look closer, like, oh wait.
PS3, that was rampant with the PS3.
Really?
Fake controllers were rampant with it.
Well,
terrible.
and they were
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
These were really trying to pass off. They didn't do a different color. They didn't. It's not like the old Mad Cat stuff. Where,
Right, where it was obvious they threw extra buttons on it.
Yeah.
Too many extra buttons on it.
Hey, a little switch to auto fire.
Right.
None of that. I mean, it just looked like a pure 360 controller. And
Yeah.
That's when I first ran into. Hey, this is just
Piece of crap.
this is just a straight knockoff. This
Yeah.
is they're not even trying to look like something else and be their own company or whatever.
Oh, and Benjamin just mentioned that, there's a reason why the pad on the Wii U had headphones, so you could watch your porn in privacy.
Mm.
Well, I'll be dang.
Makes
See,
sense.
that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Wow, that comment just bridged several platforms.
Yeah, we are running there.
We're over, bled over to Facebook.
We're doing it, guys.
Yeah.
We're doing it.
Yeah, that's right. We just that one is migrating between chat rooms.
Of course, it's about porn.
Thank you. Exactly. Anytime you bring up porn, it's going to migrate between chat rooms.
It's the same reason Blu-ray run. Porn.
That's right. Better porn on Blu-ray.
Oh yeah, you might be hiding it from your wife, I guess.
Yeah.
You need the headphones, right?
Yeah.
You need the headphones at that point.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
At that point, just
over
get a
here.
lock installed on your door or do it yourself. I mean, they're $10 at a hardware store.
What game are you playing? Whether or not you can tell I'm watching porn?
Best game
I'm
ever.
playing Spank the Chicken.
What's that sock
Right?
doing on the couch?
I'm playing What's That Smell?
Fucking dog.
All right. All right. Enough porn talk. Let's get back to the subject.
Welcome to Porn.
Presented by
My
Mexican
Mexican
Porn.
beer all the way up my screen on this one.
Yeah, dude.
All right.
You gotta turn away.
Evidently, I should. All right, Rob. What do you got tonight?
Stuff.
Oh, you got a box full.
Oh,
shit.
I
He
have,
always
uh,
does.
I have this.
Oh,
I
God.
have this lovely Taiwan
What
covered
the
copy
heck?
of
Ah.
Beanie Bopper for the Atari 2600. I had to get this when I saw it. I almost think this should be worth more than the original. So yeah,
So
I
it's
lied.
Pitfall ripoff?
You know what's funny is, no, it's Beanie Bopper, which is, it was a game by, oh crud, I'm trying to remember who made it.
I don't even remember the game.
But the game was fairly popular on the Atari 2600. And this is totally not the artwork for it. And they were ported over. They were actually brought legally, I think, by a company called CCE. And then these guys pirated them from CCE. And so they, just basically, sometimes they'd have the wrong name. Sometimes they'd have, like this one, the wrong picture. And then...
Right, so that picture is not a description of the game. at
No,
all.
nothing to do with it. In fact, the Pac-Man one is one of the worst. I really got to pick up the Pac-Man. It's just crap. But if you look at the cartridge is,
Wow.
God.
Holy crap. Nice print job on that, huh?
yeah.
Okay.
And that was sealed in box, by the way. Looks like somebody got it with a marker or something, which was probably the producer, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, they beat up 9-year-old kids to draw every one by hand.
Yeah, that makes sense.
A lot more than.
That makes, I mean, that follows.
What else? Let's see.
For every drawing, you get a French fry.
We have the Game Boy Advance SP with Crash Bandicoot starring,
Right?
and
That makes sense. I don't see any problems yet.
yeah, so you go in and you've got, hey, another bootleg's inside it. So you look at the Looks pretty good, right?
Looks
What?
good.
Come on, guys. Take a touch at it.
Yeah.
A little feelsy on that puppy.
See, I was half expecting the badge not to say Nintendo, but to say something like
It absolutely says
Nintendo.
It says
or,
Nintendo,
or
huh?
Nintendo.
It does indeed. It says Nintendo, but
Game Boy Advance. I mean,
picking it up.
This looks legit as fuck.
Yeah.
Except
You don't notice anything about it? It's very light.
Yeah.
Number one. Actually, the screen's better than a.
That's unsurprising.
Yeah.
Now, well, you say it's light. I mean, a lot of does it not have the battery in it, or is the
It does have the battery.
Cheap
It's
plastic.
just it's cheap plastic. Yeah.
That's
Nintendo
always
uses
one
so
thing.
much.
You
And
can feel.
that hinge is.
Yeah, the
it's
hinges
got
in
a,
there.
It's got a springy feeling to it that the actual SP did not.
Some Chinese manufacturers that make rip-off stuff, they put a weight in it.
Yeah.
A metal weight.
To make it seem real, yeah. No, that's good shit.
That's all I got.
You can definitely feel that weight.
Yeah, it's not right. And if you power it up, it has games built in it.
Oh, yeah.
This is kind of a dead giveaway.
Right.
It does actually run. It does actually run GBA cartridges, however.
That's
This is
awesome.
a sweet Game Boy right
It
here.
is sweet.
Yeah, and I could do Tom and Jerry.
And there you go.
Darn right. It plays Nintendo games too, which is kind of nice. So
Yeah.
it's a family clone with Game Boy Advance.
Wow, okay. It's
And,
quite the mix.
So, but it
Yeah.
does not
I'm
run.
playing Sega.
It won't run original Game Boy games. It won't run Game Boy Color games. So
Just
it
advanced.
doesn't allow it. Just advance. That's
But
all.
that doesn't
That's
mean
so
that's
right
not-
there.
I mean, there's only so much you can do when you're making a family clone of a system. Like,
Right.
Do you have the room to run the code for the other two systems?
I'm
Probably not.
I'm impressed it does.
But no, an expert can actually tell the difference between these. I'm actually not an expert in spotting phony,
Wow.
phony Pokemon, but this is absolutely a fake Pokemon that I paid $7 for off of eBay, and I got it from
Oh
China.
man, that's like
Yeah. It does save the game though.
that's light as
So
hell.
far as I can tell, honestly, it runs perfectly. I haven't had any problems with it. I'm guessing the battery would die a lot. You know, the storage would fail a lot faster, but
stickers.
You got all the copyright markings on the
but
bottom.
it looks
yes.
pretty nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is straight off just trying to rip.
Yeah, this is straight
true
up. I mean,
knockoff.
this literally has the copyright symbols on the bottom and everything.
Yeah, that one's pretty.
Yeah.
That's pretty shady right there.
Yeah, this is about as
This
shitty
one,
as you can.
this one isn't bad, but you can tell again with the
Yeah,
weight. It's just
It's a
it's
good
like it's not
forgery.
there.
It's a good forgery, but
Yeah.
it's not right.
Fucking
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah, like I said, this one's kind of interesting as far as.
Oh yeah, I can see gaps in the plastic there too, and Nintendo doesn't let that kind of shit get through the
No, I mean-
control. Seriously though, like
Yeah, no, it's not gonna make it through. It's not gonna pass. Not once
So,
you got
I
it.
mean, but you go to like convention or something like that, and you see this in the bin or whatever, and you think, oh man, you know, I
Yeah.
found some gold, you know.
Well, and that's what happens with the ripoffs like that. That's why you really do have to kind of be able to spot a genuine.
yeah, and that's
a genuine cartridge. by the
a
way.
genuine.
Yeah,
Genuine.
genuine.
Oh yeah, there's no screw in the back, which is a big giveaway.
There is a screw.
Oh, but is it the same type of screw?
Yeah, because Nintendo uses a security screw.
Yeah,
Is
well,
there a security
everyone's
screw on that one?
There is a security screw, but it's
and-
not the right shape or color.
Everyone does screw a little different.
That's true.
Everybody
That's
does.
true.
You can tell.
But those are the kind of things you have to look for because, like you said, you're going through a bit of and you go, oh, hey, this one's worth blah blah blah. Not necessarily, because there are those knockoffs out there.
Well, they want to see it in the camera better. Do you
All
want
right.
to see the knockoff?
Here, I'll bring them up front for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's
and show that
that's
off.
the thing on on eBay. You buy.
All right, so
maybe this one normally goes for
red
like
one's a knockoff.
$25.
Again, you can kind of feel that the plastic is a little
and
bit
they sell
lighter,
it for $20.
and then there's a genuine one.
A genuine one.
And then here, I think they wanted to see the Game Boy. I'm
Oh.
pretty sure that
All
was
right,
usually.
well, fine. Let me show the Game Boy then.
That's a good look, though.
Yeah.
I mean, you
You
definitely
gotta
got
see
him in there.
Here, turn it on so they can see the
Yeah, I
screen
do
too.
want-
Because the
yeah.
screen's actually really
Oh,
bright.
that's
Well, the screen's good.
It sounds like hell.
It's
though.
So wait,
backlit well.
I gotta, before I show them that, one of the first things you notice is if you look at the logo on the front, you'll see the printing is offset. So, and again, like Matt said, Nintendo does not make mistakes like that on their gear. But on the backside, they really went to try to make this look genuine as far as what the system was. But when you power it up,
Wait, yours doesn't have Sonic on it?
You get
That's
this
so
really
weird.
cool menu that kind of tells you this might not be a genuine.
That would be a hint. That would be a hint, yeah.
But the plastic is quite a bit lighter.
The plastic is downright cheap. In fact, it's a lot like those
No,
recases
no.
you can get.
No, okay.
Or a regular one.
It's a few years past old Game Boy world. Which one would you really be looking for?
What do
You know, I kind of like this one myself.
I know. That's
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, I would have, I mean,
I wouldn't mind buying one like that.
It's
I kind of
okay.
like that one.
I've never owned a Game Boy system, and I would be happy to have something like that as my first one. Like,
Yeah.
it's not bad.
You little buggy.
Nah,
Well, I
you
wouldn't. Here's
It's
the thing, though. I
emulated.
probably wouldn't notice the difference because, again, I've never owned one.
I think when you plug in the wrong game and it doesn't play right, I think that's
that would
usually it.
be my first
And
indication.
the controls on it, they're pretty rough. Now, if you're playing Pokemon, you're not going to notice it. But if you're playing anything that requires any kind of action, you're going to fail. And that comes to the next one of the Game Boy clones, which this one is meant.
That was a
to
Game
be-
Boy clone.
This one is too. Yeah, this is a GBA clone. This one's called the Revo K101, and this actually will set you back probably more than a real one would.
Really?
And the reason where the games go. Yeah,
They're right here.
It actually does not power up without a game in it.
They
so.
are right there.
So we use. It'll run the bootleg.
But now that was
Funny, some
obvi- that was
bootleg
obviously
systems won't run the
not.
bootleg.
That was obviously
Yeah.
not a Game Boy though.
It's obviously not a Game Boy, but it is meant to be. One of the problems that they have with GBA is that the 101, which is the better screen, is getting really scarce, and people were starting to really scalp the crap out of them. So the Revo K101 basically is, hopefully has some power to it, is meant to actually replace it. Now, quality was basically
Ooh, the screen
what they were
quality
going
is
for.
Real. Oh my god.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and
Dang.
the K101 you can.
I'm gonna bring that up.
Here, yeah,
I want
you
to
can-
show
Yeah,
the
show them
screen.
up front.
This
Show
is
them
the
up front
K101.
with those buttons.
That-
This screen looks really good.
Yeah, the controls are fairly good. The only thing I really don't like about it is the bleed. There's a little bit of bleed on either side of the screen. If you look,
Sure.
past the bezel.
So now wait a minute, they've reformatted the screen though. Is that not 6?
There's a slight reformatting of the screen. Some people complain about it.
Right, it's
that
not
said,
quite 4:3.
the clarity I think is pretty impressive.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's like a 5.4.
It's different.
And it'll actually link up with a Game Boy, like an actual Game Boy will play, so you can Game Boy link that system. It'll also
So you
run
could
games
use it
off.
for Pac-Man horses.
Right, yeah, you could. And you can also, it comes with an SD card adapter, so that you can put a bunch of games on an SD card and play it with it, and which is pretty nice, I think. And then, of course, it plays regular Game Boy Advance games. Unfortunately, it does not play Game Boy or Game Boy Color games either, unless you have Monorama, which I think is kind of tarded. So I actually I took a GBA, an original one, and hacking a backlight into it, which works really well.
Now,
I put a new screen in it. You can't actually do that, but
all right. So that's 2 of these, by the way. Where did you find these?
this one, this I got off of eBay. It's one of those things where when you're on Facebook, you know, somebody's like, "Hey, somebody saw these bootleg Game Boys. Watch out for him."
And Robert,
I'm like,
yeah!
hell yeah! I'm gonna go buy that bootleg because I buy any bootleg I can find. The K101s are pretty popular in the Game Boy community. Most Game Boy enthusiasts, they know what it is because they kickstarted, I think, the first one, and then the second one they didn't do a Kickstarter for. They just released that, but that's a fairly popular one. You see it around. That one you can buy, like on Amazon.
Sure.
And they come in different colors too, which
That's
I
a
think is sexy.
knockoff. That's more of a.
That's a coattail rider.
Yeah.
That would be a coattail
Yeah.
rider. Yeah.
I was gonna call it a.
It's a good one, though.
Glamour boy.
I
Yeah,
don't.
You know, like a Flamacone, but a glamour boy.
It's a Flamaclone. Yeah, I like it. Flamaclone.
My 30-second review is that it feels like a Super Nintendo controller with a screen on it.
Yeah, it's a little bit
Which is
spongy.
fucking
It's a little bit spongy in my opinion.
I
but
mean,
it's not bad at all.
I'll give you that, but it's solid.
And you do that next to this thing,
Oh,
and you're like,
that's
oh, that there's a big difference in these controllers. And
Yeah, I didn't.
that
play
one's
me,
crap.
Yeah.
That one's crap. It'll get you.
The screen might look good, but you don't want to stay long.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. The screen looks okay. So I think the best way to do it, honestly, is get a real GBA and either shell out for the 101 or else hack yourself an original GBA. That's the way I like to go because it's got the bigger controls.
Yeah, it feels.
Put a
more
backlight on
comfortable.
it. Yeah.
I
love that thing. Plus, that runs all the original stuff, which I really like too. All right, finally.
Yeah, I'd miss playing Burger Time.
Finally, I got
Miss Burger Time.
my personal favorite. This is my earliest one. Not as early as yours, though. No,
But
this goes back to the 80s.
This one's freaking awesome.
And this is the Dita 2-in-1, which it's actually semi-licensed. It actually was a licensed ColecoVision clone, and this one will run both ColecoVision and Sega SG-1000 games.
See, the fact it ran the SG-1000 game was freaking awesome.
And you notice the form factor is much like an SG-1000.
Okay, so
Very much like an SG-1000.
right, but if you notice also, it's got 2 cartridge slots on it,
Yeah.
which was really cool, which the SG-1000 did not. Again, kind of odd. It was an odd mix of systems to combine.
Yeah, well, not so much when you think about the processor.
Not from a hardware standpoint.
They both use a Z80.
Right.
So
they use the
and
same processor.
and the same graphics chip, pretty
True,
much.
that's true. Yeah, and the same sound chip.
Yep. So yeah, they were pretty much identical systems, honestly.
Yeah.
Just the SG-1000 was a little bit upgraded from it. So so this did actually poorly, because I'm pretty sure Tom will gladly tell you that it's cheaply made. The failure rate on this was super high. This one's actually a cyborg of its former self.
Yeah, because he
put a
had to
heatsink
patch
on
the
it.
crap out of that one.
Yeah, and then the video completely failed on it, and I can't get parts for it anymore. So
What an enormous surprise.
well, they didn't use the original graphics chip either. They didn't use the ColecoVision chip. They used the SG-1000 chip, which actually has composite out of the chip. So I soldered.
You soldered a composite out on
I
it.
sure as crap did.
That's
So
fucking awesome.
soldered,
That's good shit.
I soldered it and stuck it out of the back like a huge anal wart. But you know what? It looks great now. This is the best freaking ColecoVision I have. And because it doesn't have the pads built into the controller, you can use your damn Atari controllers like everybody on the Coleco did anyway. So you can actually use original Atari controllers on it and play it like a boss.
Nice.
So I really like this, actually. Someday it will probably catch on fire and kill us all
But
at
for
one of
now,
our shows. But for now,
yeah, and you actually
For now, we're doing okay.
when we do live shows, Rob brings this one out. So if you haven't played it, Dina, and want to see what it looks like, Rob normally brings this to our live shows.
yep. As long as it doesn't fail during the show. It failed during MGC last year, but this year, I think I got it. I mean,
You've done a lot. You've done a
This
lot
is
of hard work.
as
on
much
it.
has been done as I can do to it. So, it should be fine this year.
All right, so
What the hell? Yeah. Oh, the other funny thing about it was the SG-1000 was never mentioned on the box. So, to all people who bought this in the Sears catalog, there was just a superfluous port hanging on it. Just
Hey, what's that for?
Yeah, that's another thing. It's really easy to break the detector off on there.
Mm-hmm.
So I ran longer lines into it because it detects it by shorting out. When you put in an SG-1000 cartridge, it's just got a very basic 2 pieces of metal that clip together, and then it shorts that circuit out, and then that turns it into an SG-1000. The rest of the time it's a ColecoVision. So it breaks all the time. People don't notice because nobody plays SG-1000 on it that I know of. I'm good at though. I'm gonna get some games to play.
Nice. I don't know the SG-1000.
It was basically the Sega Master System. It was really a
it was the
predecessor.
free Master System.
Yeah, it was. There's similarities to the two though, but Yeah, it was more precursor to it.
All right.
All right.
I think we've beaten this poor dead horse.
Wait.
Oh wait, no, we do have one more.
We do have one more. I really like
We've
this
got
one.
a special one to discuss. You want it or you want me to take it?
And now
go
this
right ahead.
corpse.
I gotta take this. Okay. So Ryan's not here tonight, but Ryan wanted to show this. Now, the cool thing about this one is this is new in box. So we have talked about this particular system on the air before. This is the Power Zone. It's also called a few other things. I can't remember what the other things it's called. But basically, it's the penguin that bursts into flames when you play it. It's a Famicom clone. This is the 2010 edition of it. This one says it's got 111 built-in games. Also supports 8-bit gaming cartridges, like the original.
Yeah, like
one.
the original. So it's got a
It
big
supports it.
music port on it.
So the changes they've made with this is the penguin looks a little friendlier than the old penguin. The old penguin looked like he'd kill you in your sleep, and probably will.
He had glowing red eyes, I tell
Well,
you.
the new one's got
He really did.
The new one's got glowing red eyes.
Does he still got the red eyes?
Yeah, they just made the
thank
beak
goodness.
a little less menacing looking, and now what they've done is they've made both controls infrared instead of just the one control infrared. So you've got 2 infrared remote controls on this. Still has the light gun. So for those of you who still have CRT televisions, no one. Okay, Larry, we're not like normal people, okay? None of us are like normal people. But most
I
people,
have 5 of them.
the light gun is completely useless because it does not work with flat screen TV. You have to have a CRT to use it. The penguin, like I said, they made him look a little bit less threatening, but still kind of scary as heck. And now they've gone to 2 remotes. They're infrared, so it's line of sight. You literally have to... Okay, I'm pointing directly at the penguin's belly now. I can use the remote. But again...
Yeah, I always used it corded.
This
I didn't
thing-
screw with that cancerous.
This is one of the best rip-off games available.
Oh, now you probably can't use it corded at all with this one.
Well, I hope they got ports on the back.
Oh, it's got to because you can use the gun.
Oh, alright.
And the gun is still corded.
Unless the gun is.
And the gun is still corded. Unless the gun plugs into one of the remotes. I have not used the completely wireless one. So, of all the Famicom clones, who the heck thought, hey, let's put this thing into the body of a penguin because that definitely will attract everybody. I mean, I've seen them that look like PlayStations. I've seen them that look like Wii's. I've seen them that look like the old NES's. I mean, they've done...
I know.
They've done Famiclones to look like existing game systems.
Someone who really wants it just to be a Linux system.
Linus Torvalds.
Okay, maybe he would have put it in the body of the penguin, but nobody in their right mind would have thought
Somewhere
this
out
was
there,
a good
Linus
idea.
Torvalds is going,
Yes!
damn!
I should have thought
I did that.
So,
Wait, he's not German.
now when it says there's only 111 built-in games, I'm going to bet there's more. Like, ours are like some ungodly one of the ones we picked.
Yeah, I was like, and it was really, it had good games too, which
No.
I thought was really impressive.
It's
There's a lot
not
of
bad.
good games
It's
on
not
it.
a bad Famicom.
Well,
it
it's
is a good
probably
Famicom.
an honest knockoff in that it's 110 probably completely unique games instead
Quite possibly.
of 10,000 games, and it's like, yeah, you just broke out 100 levels of the same game. Yeah.
I had one that was only 5 games repeated like 100 times.
Right,
It's
and then
so
how
bad.
long does it take you to get through, like, okay, I want to get to the next game, and I gotta go through, like, 150 of the same game before I
to get on a variant's called like Duck Blunt. Yeah, Duck Blunt.
All right. Rob, why don't you go ahead and take us out of this show? I think we have pushed the technology, done what we needed to do, talked about porn. How much better can you get for an episode of Guys Games?
I know, right? Everything was here. I have nothing else to say. Well,
It's a real 5-star podcast.
so we are. Yeah, we're something else tonight. So if you haven't noticed, we are now available everywhere. YouTube. The Twitch, the Facebook.
Twitch, Larry's
We got
ass.
the Facebooks. We're right on Larry's ass, in fact. So you can check us out at www.guysgamesandbeer.net, which is our home website. Most of our stuff goes on Facebook, www.facebook.com/guysgamesandbeer, where every week we do stupid crap and draw you into our conversations and infighting.
Probably
We talk crap about somebody else's product that they picked up.
It'll be a cat
That's
picture
true.
at
Yeah,
some
never-
point.
And there will almost certainly be a cat picture. Because we're kind of weird.
Because they're
about
cats.
Because sometimes I post on the wrong account. Sorry.
that. Sorry about that. On Twitter, not Twitch, by the way. On Twitter, it's at Guys Games Beer, where Tom gives away free games on Wednesday. Oh, I forgot. We give them away on Friday sometimes.
Sometimes, but
But I remember,
generally Wednesday.
Ooh, I got some
But,
for you.
yeah. So Facebook Friday, Twitter
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Probably.
Yep. Website. We never give anything away on there.
Yeah.
It's true. Nobody goes to the website.
That's
Well, that's because we're like everywhere else.
It's really those wonderful people who listen to us, just audio.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's true.
They
'Cause
tear that
A lot
we
of
up.
have the
audio
audio
tear
only
it up.
links, but we're also on.
Yeah, we're on iTunes and every freaking podcast
Yeah,
aggregator
yeah.
on the planet at this point. If there's an aggregator we're not on, let us know about it. We'll
And we will get onto it.
get
Yeah.
on there, but I'm pretty sure we're on all of them now.
Oh gosh, yeah, we're on TuneIn Radio.
Yeah, for goodness sake. We're on Radio Brazil, for Christ's sake, now.
Yeah. So definitely go
Live on Radio Brazil.
pick us up and find us. All right, Rob, take us out.
Thank you very much for watching Guys, Games, and Beer. We will be seeing you next week. We've got possible guests lined up again.
Yes, we do.
We've been doing a lot of guests lately, and I think that those episodes go the best. So we're gonna just keep going with that.
Yeah, something
Hey.
cool. Something cool to come on the show.
Thanks for watching, and see
Bye.
you next
Later,
Tuesday,
later.
much closer to 6.
Probably.